Hello and welcome to the Harmony SMP. My name is Weird and Bearded, and we are over here at the Easter District because today it is time to hide some Easter eggs. But before we do, completely unrelated to the rest of the episode, I'm just really in the mood to build a farm. As you can see, we are over in another fortress. I have dug quite far to get here and bridged quite far to get here. It's about 1,000 blocks away, but I want to be building this farm far away because we're going to end up doing bigger and bigger things to it. So I want to make sure I am not near where the rest of us are. Also, the nice thing about this fortress is that we have a long straight right here. So I'm gonna fly just because it is so long. Very long straight. So we're going to be turning all of this into a quick and dirty wither skeleton farm, so that we can get a good supply of beacons on the server. This will not take long. At least, not in the video. For me, I've got quite a bit of digging to do. So, from what I can remember, just going through it in my head, there's kind of 4 stages. First of all, I've got to dig out the area and place down a floor. Then I've got to create the central channel, which is where the user is going to be. Then create the little bit of redstone at the end, just the killing chamber. And then the much longer bit, which we're not going to do all today, is despawning the local area. So, I'm going to empty my inventory from everything I've dug up. And then I'm going to start digging out a nice area for them to spawn in. Half of the area has been dug out. I've still got that half to do. But at this point, even though we've not done the spawn proofing yet, so we're not going to be getting many spawns at all, stuff can still spawn in here and attack me, which is just going to be a pain more than anything else. However, along the central section, which is going to be this bit, we are going to have a couple of walls so that lasers and stuff can't get to me. So I'm going to get those in place now, because really I may as well. And then I've just got to dig out the other half, and that is most of the farm complete. I'm in our little central corridor section. If I go into free cam mode, you can see both sides have now been dug out. We have some blazes here. We can ignore the blazes. I'm feeling safe. Ooh! Got some wither skeletons as well. As I said, I haven't spawn-proofed the area yet. Well, I haven't even started spawn-proofing the area. It's going to be a big process. So we're not going to have many spawns at the moment, but next I need to deal with this corridor. You may recognize this build from Tango Tech and Impulse. They used daylight detectors here, because it'll lift you up a bit, but enough for the wither skeletons to see you, but nothing else. Hopefully I may have made it a bit too big. We'll find out. But daylight detectors, especially I need 169 of them, quite expensive. They use a lot of nether quartz. So my plan was to use 3 snow layers instead, which brings you up to the same level. However, what with all the digging I've done, I have an awful lot of nether quartz. I may as well use the daylight detectors. The daylight detectors are all in place, and I think it's safe to say this thing is working. I've got about 10 wither skeletons around me at the moment, so now all I need to do is add a little killing chamber here, and this farm is done. Hopefully, this is going to work. This is really the first test of my system proper. So we get to the end. Hopefully they will recognise that this is the closest way to get to me. And wonderful! Okay, we've got a couple of people stuck there. They seem to just be pushing each other. There we go. I can't get out of each other's way. Oh. Make that a full block. But apart from that, I am quite happy with this system. There we go. So the only other thing that I want to add, so obviously we've got our chests down here. I'm going to put a bit of lava down there just so that we can then take the swords and throw them out. So this is a working wither skeleton farm. Just got to do some spawn proofing of the local area. But I think it's time to get on with the rest of the episode. And the rest of the episode is going to be taking place starting off in the Ether District, which has undergone some changes. So we now have we have most of a nice bridge on the way over. This That bit's a bit more treacherous. And we've got some flowers and some towers. Oh, this is starting to look lovely. This is really coming together. Those are beautiful towers. But the main thing is over at the egg basket. Because we have the Easter egg hunt next week, so I need to hide some eggs. Specifically, I need to hide 3 eggs. 1 for top, 1 for queen, and 1 for win. I have designed the eggs. I think I know where they're going to go. I at least know how I'm going to hide them. But I've got a bit of resource gathering to do first. So, if you are one of the members of the Harmony server and you haven't done the Easter egg hunt yet, come back and watch this bit later. You can see where I hid the other eggs. So let's gather some resources. So it turns out, really the only resource collection I needed to do was those nether stars. Everything else I already have. I'm not going to show you what they're getting just yet. We'll wait until I build up the eggs. But yes, everything else I already had here or I could get from trading with my villagers. Now the plan is 3 eggs. We're going to hide 1 in the overworld, 1 in the nether, and 1 in the end. And I think I'm going to start with the end. So let me gather some books so I can write out some clues. So here we have egg number 3, clue number 1. The end is nigh, so don't you dither. Look neath where the withers wither. So hopefully with the mention of the end and the mention of withers withering, well, that should lead them over to the end. That's right, it should lead them to the end. I'm looking down so I don't accidentally look at any enderman. And right below the portal back is our wither killing chamber. This is where the withers wither. And if they look underneath it, they will find a barrel in which there is a book. Egg number 3, clue number 2. Through the gate you can't go wrong, just listen to the chorus song. So hopefully they will realise that that is referring to our end gateway, of which currently we only have 1. And if they were to go through it, which hopefully I can do somewhat easily, well, they will find a load of chorus. Where's the actual... I seem to recall this happened last time, but we don't seem to have an end gateway on the other side. I just landed on top of the chorus tree. I'm going to cut this chorus tree down. I'm going to go back through that gateway, and I'm going to come back and forth a few times, see where I end up. Well, I've ended up on the ground. I know that we've done some chunk pruning, so I'm wondering if you tune the prunk if you prune the chunk that's got the end gateway on this side in it, it might still just teleport you to the same place. This is definitely where we initially teleported to. But as you can see, we are surrounded by chorus flowers, and I'm going to be taking a lot of them down, replanting them, and I'm going to shape them in a very specific way. It's taken some time to make this work because I had to wait for the chorus flowers to grow, but let's go through and see what I have done. So I'll come through and they've got to listen to the chorus songs. They look around and nothing seems too out of the ordinary, but then they notice, apart from a couple which need to change around here, I forgot about that, all of these are pointing in the same direction. So they start flying and they fly a bit further. Eventually they come across this island and look, the chorus flowers are now pointing in a different direction, so let's rotate and we'll keep on going. Until eventually they will come across here where hopefully they'll be able to spot the egg. It is going to be hidden quite subtly. But now it's time to hide egg number 2. So back to the egg basket to start off with clues for egg number 2. We have for bones and skulls and swords and coal, descend to hell, for there's your goal. So hopefully they will get from descend to hell that they need to go to the nether. And then for bones and skulls and swords and coal, well, there's only one farm that does that. Well, that's right. It is the wither skeleton farm that we built earlier today. So obviously you get the bones and the coal from them. Sometimes they drop swords, and hopefully they're going to be dropping some skulls as well. We're in this chest. We're going to leave. Take number 2, clue number 2. The egg's not here, but don't distress. Just look around for the button press, because we have started work on the spawn proofing. So if I quickly fly my way over, try not to aggro them too much. We've just been putting... Ignore that. We have been putting buttons everywhere, so we're going to utilize one of these buttons. I'm going to turn one around, try and make it a little bit more obvious. And it's going to open up a doorway, so I need to go and grab some redstone stuff, which I probably should have brought with me. Oh, we've reached quite an interesting point. I'm currently stood just on top of the farm, on top of the wither skeleton farm, because Top's just come on 9 and is coming to get some bones. So I just need to hide. Hopefully he doesn't spot me, so I'm shifting. He shouldn't see the nameplate or anything. I should be fine. This is, I believe, the edge of things. Yeah, so that's the entrance corridor. So, when he goes along there, if he looks up, he'll see me. Suppose we could quickly go into the accessibility settings and toggle shift on. There he is, there he is. So now we've got to stay shifted. I don't have time to go to the accessibility settings. Wow. This is very funny. Because he won't be looking back now. Let's do it quickly. Options, accessibility settings, sneak toggle. Okay. Oh, of course, because Sneak gets toggled, the free cam keeps going down. That's annoying. I suppose if I'm very quick. I'm definitely still shifting there. There he is. There's Top. No idea that he's being watched. Oh, no, the shift does not get held. Well, this is interesting. I was hoping that the shift would get held on me. I'm just gonna stand there. Maybe he'll ignore me and go away. This has gone disastrously wrong. That's it. Off you trot, off you trot. Don't come looking for me. Bye! Well, now Top's gone, I have returned the book. I also got a couple of wither skulls while I was there, which was quite nice. So now we've got to try and find the button to press. It should hopefully be fairly obvious once they start looking, because one of these buttons is the wrong way round. So they'll press the button, and they'll notice something happened. Then they can press it again, they can run in and fall. Fall? There we go. They don't have much time to do it. And then they follow this path. which will lead them right up to this bastion with an Enderman in it. We don't care about the Enderman. And we're going to hide the egg right in the middle. We'll get the egg in later, because that is another section done. All we need to do is one more egg in the overworld. Ow. So finally we have the overworld egg, egg number 1. An artifact from days of yore. Restrain your hate. Hardcore parkour, which is of course referring to what we did just last week. Last week? 2 weeks ago. The episode was last week. Where we did the parkour course around Queen's Base, with the prize being on the roof. So if they were to head over to the roof and look around, they will find themselves another barrel, inside of which is clue number 2. Let's start again and look around. You'll find your treasure underground, for which they need to go back to the start, which means a return to where this season started. Our spawn area, which we should probably do something with at some point, but the nice thing is we've got a couple of nice drops, which means a couple of nice areas to hide some eggs. Speaking of which, I think it's time to get those eggs. Before we finish up, let's have a look at what they're actually going to be getting. So first of all, a free WAB redstone build of their choice. Why not? Then if we start digging down, obviously they've got all of the wool. They also have a free beacon. Get rid of the beacon. Then we've got a couple of layers of glass. There is a layer of diamond, a layer of moss, a layer of nether quartz ore, some clay, some lapis lazuli or lapis lazuli, however you want to say it, terracotta, coal ore, sand, iron ore, gravel, copper ore, tuff, gold ore, and calcite. So a good layered egg here. I'm not going to put all of this stuff back. So that is it. We have our 3 clues in there. We have built the Wither Skeleton Farm. We've hidden 3 eggs. I cannot wait to start hunting for everybody else's eggs, which I believe are going to be all hidden this weekend. The Easter area is coming on beautifully. And actually, since I started hiding the eggs, this bridge has been finished. So let's quickly check that out. I've seen it from above, and it looks amazing. This is really cool. I love the use of the lecterns. We now have a nice way in and out of the Easter area. I want to get a proper look at the roof of this. Oh, that's lovely. So, that is everything done for today's episode. Next week we're going to be finding some eggs, but in the meantime, I'm going to say thank you all for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Weird and Bearded, and I will see you all next time.